Director, we can start. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Respected Director, today's resource person, Dr. Broto, and all participants of this FDP, I heartily welcome all of you for day 2 of FDP. I hereby introducing today's resource person, an ideal one. If you go through her biodata, you can say that she is the ideal for, rather, she has the ideal biodata with us. So it is a great privilege and honor to introduce our distinguished resource person for today's faculty development program, Professor Dr. Broto Bhardwaj. Dr. Bhardwaj is currently serving as a professor and head research at Bharati Vidyapit deemed to be University Institute of Management and Research, New Delhi. She is highly accomplished academician, researcher, and thought leader in the domains of data science, analytics, marketing, innovation, entrepreneurship, and technology management. She completed her PhD from IIT Delhi and is also a recipient of the prestigious President's Gold Medal during her MBA from IIT Delhi. Further strengthening her academic excellence, she has undertaken postdoctoral research in collaboration with global institutions, including UCLA, USA. Dr. Bharadwaj has a rich international exposure as a visiting professor in reputed institutions in the USA, including Northeastern Illinois University and North Hennepin Community College. She is also a John D. Rockefeller Fellow of USA and a Fellow of the International Association of Advanced Materials of Sweden. With over 2 decades of experience in teaching, research, and administration, she has made significant contribution to academic leadership, NAC, NIRF accreditation processes, PhD mentoring, and institutional development. She has successfully led numerous FDPs, MDPs, and research initiatives. Dr. Bharadwaj has an impressive research profile with extensive publications in Scopus and UGC Care journals, authored books, and has received multiple Best Paper awards at national and international conferences. Her research interests include artificial intelligence, sustainable development, entrepreneurship, and digital transformation. She has also been associated with prestigious organizations such as IEEE, AICT, and international academic bodies, contributing as an expert, reviewer, and speaker at global platforms. Her vast experience, deep insights, and passion for research and innovation make her an inspiring mentor and an eminent resource person for this FDP. I once again, madam, welcome you, and we are very lucky to have you as a resource person today. I extend my warm welcome again to Dr. Broto Bharadwaj and look forward to an enriching and insightful session. Thank you, madam, for accepting our invitation. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you so much, sir. I take this privilege to accept this honor, and thank you for that honored, detailed introduction. I'm very touched and very honored and delighted. With a heartfelt thanks on behalf of BVIMR, I would like to extend thank you note to Director Sir, Nadav Sir, Shabnam Ma'am, and the entire team. I see them working overnight to really make this possible and giving me this a wonderful opportunity to be with you. I expect that this is going to be a very interactive session, and feel free to interrupt me anytime in between and wherever I need to repeat anything. And it's going to be a co-learning journey with you in this walk of learning process. I'm going to share my screen right now. Just let me know if it is visible. Um, so this one, I click on this and I share. Okay. Now you are having access to my screen. Can you see
Yes,
that?
yes, we can see it, madam. No problem.
I have also shared detailed, the slides and couple of reports. That's for the public resources, so you can kindly share and forward it to the team. Okay, so with that note, I give you a very warm welcome once again to this research journey together. Now, in research proposal and development, not only for government but other agencies also, I was listening to Mahajan ma'am where she has given wonderfully about the introduction about various national and international call for funding proposals. Now, the format that I'm sharing right now is. Do I need to do F5 or is it visible? Because I will be shifting and giving you practical exposure to how couple of research projects have been has been executed. So real-time project I'm going to share. So is this visible or I need to do F5? You let me know. Should I do F5? Okay.
No, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. So I'll go back to my screen once I'm done with this. So see, what happens is if you understand the importance of research proposal, who is the audience? Okay, so the title, I think I would just like to just give me a moment. I was trying to edit couple of this one and a good title, Now, let me just tell you what is a good title. This is taken from AICT website, and I have also shared this document with you. Now, what's a good title? Let me just go to F5. Oh, that doesn't allow me to do that. Okay, okay. So I go by the sequence. No worries. Now, what's a good title is, it has to have a social relevance. Now, how do we measure the social relevance and impact? Is the total number of beneficiaries that you are able to have an outreach, because most of these research proposals are taxpayers' money. So if we try and see how we are able to make that accountable and to the largest number of beneficiaries, the more there is a chance of the proposal getting funded. Now, name of the institution is again your affiliation, and this is where your name of the institution is where your funding would get transferred. Okay, and I'm going to also walk you through once we have. It's like, once you're going with me, just visually, I would request an appeal to my audience and my team here to visually walk yourself through. So once I'm done with the proposal format, I'm going to walk you with real time basis. And then probably in some time later, we can actually review and, visit your proposals to say which one has a larger say and you submit. And some dates are call for proposal is also there. Okay. Now, so you need to have institutional affiliation, and the presentation again, it will have that format. Now, first format is background of the study and the research problem purpose. Okay, now background of the study, again, it will be for, a catchy title like, let me walk you through in lifetime basis. Um, Say one of my project is on application of AI model for enhancing sustainable education. Okay, I'm going to share that in Word document also. So in that background of the study will warm up what you want to why this there is a need. So basically, if it's a good research proposal will come out of a good research thesis. So you have to see that there are enough number of literature review that you have done. uh, I would not like to scare you off, but if you have an access, see, if I say 150, you would get scared, but it's like a continuous research is a continuous effort. Okay, so if I say one paper a day you are reading, or one, so you can actually do it in 150 days. So I'm just trying to break it into solutions. Now, research problem would be again, the more robust your background is, more you are able to give social implication. You will be able to elaborate to the funding agencies how your research paper or research project contributes towards uplifting of the larger masses. Okay, so that should be our goal for every proposal that we talk about. Now, research problem is a problem statement identified from the a typical, it's like a detailed thesis that you have done, and out of that you have come up with a problem. Actually, you know what, I have done both ways, back and forth. Like one of the funded project that I received, one of my PhD scholar, they did through that. So it can be back and forth how you want to do it, but research problem is based on detailed literature review, and it has to identify certain social contribution that we are making from the from our research project. Now, purpose of this study is you are going to break down the problem statement into various 2 3 objectives. Okay, and then objective 1 2 3. So suppose I take you with that, walk you through with the original research proposal making. So I am applying sustainable develop AIML model to make my education sustainable. Okay, right. So objective 1 can be and now if you break in AIML into various parts, I will say application of AIML for decision making, application of AIML in enhancing experiential learning, and third objective may be application of AIML for let's just see what are the other aspects of continuous learning. Suppose I'm
Madam,
taking 3 objectives, huh?
madam,
Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
to interrupt you. The slide of call for proposal is now display on the screen. Is it correct? Call for
नहीं,
proposal.
मेरे यहाँ पे तो research question है.
So, madam,
Uh,
share
So again,
entire,
share, I share. Okay,
yes,
okay. Give me a moment.
entire screen. Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Because I couldn't see that. So I just went back to that one. I will go back to, wait. I will exit to, you want me to exit?
No, 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 madam. Without exiting, just stop sharing first, and then again.
Yes, sure, madam, no problem.
How do I
Click on,
stop sharing?
madam, at the right side of the corner, top corner,
Hmm.
there is one
Okay.
icon. Stop
Huh.
sharing.
Stop sharing. Okay. I stopped. And again, do I exit or again I share?
No, no, no. Again, try to share. Click on share.
Hmm. Click on share.
Then
Select the tab, entire
entire
screen.
screen. Yes.
Then I click, then I share,
Huh.
and then I go back to my slide. Is it now
Yes, ma'am.
visible?
Now it's visible.
Are we together?
Yes, yes,
You
madam.
only click
It
on
is
Introduction.
हाँ
it will
ठीक
be
है
in the
ठीक है
plain
Yes,
done.
madam. Okay, okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you,
Yes.
thank you, thank you so much. So when we were talking about so we were what we did was we took a topic of social relevance, then we identified sub objectives. So these 1 2 3 means sub objective. Okay, so after that, then we have the research question. Now, if we go to formulate the research question, my typical question will be application of AIML enhances the student decision making sustainably. Okay. The second question, because so the first variable was my decision making, second variable was experiential learning. I'm just taking a simple model. Okay. Now, conceptual model building, I will tell you further. In the report, it is how we go, I will share. So now first one was decision making, second one was experiential learning. So my research question is, um, does experiential learning is do AIML enhance experiential learning among students? And if you want to add employability, so third question can be, um, uh, is AIML enabling employability for student learning process? Okay, so you just divide that into 3 questions as per the 3 objective. Okay, so 3 questions directly. Then we do the key authors literature research gap based on the literature review, detailed literature review. We do the research gap, and then based on the research gap we will identify the need of the study. Now, almost all of the research proposals will have the similar structure. Okay, except, but you know what, the best part of any kind of research proposal making is to go to their website. That also I'll share how to do it. Okay, So you go to the website and follow their typical format, huh? But in broadly speaking, these are going to be the major items that we have to fulfill. Now, then we talk about the research design. Now, research design is the conceptual model. I'm going to share again. Okay, so I'm going to share the Word document, how it has been done. Research design is the conceptual model that shows, so यहाँ पे I mean, in this one, what will be there? I mean, just follow my cursor. There will be two variables, one variable, two variable, and how it is leading to, sustainable development of the of the students, huh? In through education. Now, sampling would be if you're saying the proposal is for India, so you will mention that it is going to be pan India, depending on the budget size. So if it is 10 lakh budget, you may say, but then you have to see what is the purpose and do you really need to go that far, because research is cost intensive, huh? So sampling is based on our objective. If you see here, where is the objective? So based on our objective, we have to ensure that the sampling is justified and research methodology is justified as per our purpose and objective. That should be, back and forth, you have to see that. Then data collection is based on what you have proposed, and your budgeting also I am going to talk about. Then the analysis part is again what we have proposed, what is our hypothesis, what do we want to prove or disprove with our research. That has to be kind of justified here. Okay, then we have this one, conceptual framework. It's again, I told you visually, but I'm going to actually share with real time basis. Okay, now expected results, because we have not received any result till now, it was on fact basis, but research methodology is again यहाँ पे, this one is going to be only on the basis of your expected results. So here in this one, we are going to only mention that possible findings aim at, again, the language is very important. So we will say the findings will be directed towards finding the efficiency of AI deployment for enhancing the adoption of online education for sustainable learning. Okay, so this kind of you have to just connect and everything. And then contribution has to be very important, because your novelty, your uniqueness and originality has to be mentioned in detail. Okay, so that is again a contribution. Implications again for academic researcher, what would be the implication? Future, future your researcher, how researchers can adopt our research for extending their own research purposes. Practical is the managerial implication, where, our managerial, how managers can get benefited. So like yesterday, Mahajan ma'am was sharing that TCS, Infosys, they have called for projects, but basically they have called for projects under CSR funding. Now, if we talk about CSR funding, CSR is corporate social responsibility, and the clauses under which you can get funding is again women empowerment, women entrepreneurship, greening, sustainable development. So if you have a project application, and of course their impact measurement has also needs to be measured, and you have to suggest how you have improved pre project and post project. So ensure that those scales are designed well in advance, and you're tracking data. Basically, research is, one is to document how we are improving the situation, and the second one is the documentation. Third one is the implementation. I'm sorry, it's implementation, documentation, and interpretation. Okay, right? So then we have, and the social implication means how many people have got benefited. So it is the beneficiary list. In some of the projects like ICSSR, we have also to, we are supposed to add the total number of beneficiaries or the companies we have visited, so that they know that, because how it works is in bottle, if you actually funnel down what projects we are sustaining, suppose it is 1 lakh or 10 lakh or 3 lakhs, whatever, your data is again going to be used by the government to say, okay, so many people or so many women entrepreneurs were created out of this project of 10 lakh on so and so topics. Say, for example, women empowerment through women entrepreneurship. Now, titling again, I'm going to share what there's a typical method how the governments or the any enterprise thinks about. So they are going to catch first your title. Okay, so titling has to be a creative one which can attract their attention to review your entire project report or say project proposal of 15 to 20 pages. Usually it's not required more than that, but you can add the rest to the annexure. More sure and more focused the pages are, more you will get their attention. Okay, so phase one, phase two, phase three is phase one. Suppose you are doing pilot study. Phase two, suppose you are doing the case study, mixed method. And phase three, when you are trying to do the confirmatory factor analysis or CFA, or I will just say confirmatory analysis. It is up to you how you want to do it. Now, the next part is a very critical part. They are going to just review the initial part, objective, and then jump on the budget. Hmm? So we have to be very creative with the budget. This is just a sample budget where the budget may have the two parts. Okay, one is recurring, the other one is non-recurring. Now recurring means जो recur होता है means it's again and again you are going to use it per month. Suppose it is 2 years project, so you are going to pay your research assistant maybe 3,000 total for 2 months, 3 months, that you have to share. So you will just write 3,000, 30,000 into multiplied by so many number of installments that you are hiring this research assistant for. So these are type of recurring budget. Now data analyst is one who is going to do, suppose you're going to hire some data analyst who is going to run on smart PLS or SPSS or AIML models, and then you are going to pay. It can be per month, it can be bulk amount. You just have to tell them in the project that this is my recurring and this is my non-recurring. And what we try to do here is that uh, your recurring and non-recurring should have a particular ratio. Okay, so there are typical budgets one can see, and mostly your recurring should be less and non-recurring should be more. Why non-recurring should be more? Here catch is, in what is the government purpose, or anybody, I was just listening to yesterday's talk. So if suppose Infosys says that I want to create a digital library in say any university, they want that so many students, say 2,500 students are accessing the library. First, that we have to show them the access register. Second is how many people are using that library per resources. So you have to map that, but most of the research shows that if you are asking for non-recurring budget like software, the smart PLS, or any kind of plagiarism checker or anything, suppose that is required, you have to see what is the requirement of your topic, and then you are asking for this, then definitely they are going to give you recurring. Also, sometimes if they have given the same agency, like we got one AICT project where no, non-recurring, they have already given us SPSs, they have given us a laptop and other things. When we asked for the second project, so we did not ask for non-recurring, we straight away went to recurring budget, that we are going to use the earlier infrastructure that you have given us, and we will be executing the given project in the given budget. Okay. So, and when you receive that award of your research proposal, then they will give you that breakup of recurring and non-recurring. It's the minute, they may not go to that detail, but in some organization they would like to stick to your proposal. How, there is phases of project execution. So once that we give the project proposal, then they have those different steps. I'm going to share about that. Now, what happens when you have completed the project? They are going to assess project completion with respect to our project proposal, and they are going to match every number that you have given. Suppose research assistant, it is only 30,000 was proposed. 10% over and above, 5 to 10% थोड़ा बहुत चलता है, मतलब if you exceed 1 or 2 units more, but बहुत deviation 30 60 it can't be. Okay, so you have to ensure that your budgeting process is proper, and there are typical thumb rule where you can prepare this to ensure that you are getting the right resources allocated to you. And non-recurring budget is looks like this. The references you're going to write about, again, publication include Scopus Index, include all as many as you can. Okay. And mostly, all those great cited papers which are in your area of research. We should be aware of that. And then we have our most critical one. Yesterday, I heard one question on the basis of what we are awarded this project report. It's based on the experience of the PI, okay, personal investigator, or the co-PI, who is there. Huh? So these things become very, very important, that we attach our resume. The resume formats are given. Some organizations, like when you are doing the spiral one, like AICT doesn't have a format for resume, but ICSSR, they were requesting us for a particular resume format. So wherever it is required, you just go as per the declared norms of the organization. Please, that has to be kind of adhered to, because first and foremost, they will pick up and check whether you have followed the format. That means we have not studied the guidelines and principles and policies of the organization. So then they don't take in much interest for the next phase of scrutinizing. Okay. Now, if you see what I mean by scrutinizing is, these are the levels. First, what we do is we make now if we have actually walked us together now till that this stage, we have actually made our project proposal. Huh? Now we have submitted to ASCT, or say, ICSSR, or any other company consulting project. They're going to shortlist based on their agenda and their. Suppose it is under CSR and Infosys wants it to be under women empowerment. We have to actually be little, doing research on their website. So when they're giving call for proposal, they will also enlist their agendas on which they are willing to fund us. Okay, so suppose it is women empowerment, or suppose it is AI digitalization, or education. So just ensure that your project revolves around those topics, and you can justify how you can contribute to larger masses with your project idea. So that is the shortlisting path. Now, deep review is, again, they have there is a committee which just scrutinizes based on the uploaded version of our. Nowadays, first we upload on the website and then we send the spiral copy. Huh? What we have uploaded, the same thing has to reach them within so and so date in person. I mean, in hard copy format. So that's again the format of deep review. So once they receive your deep, your hard copy, they have a entire committee which will review based on the topic, the presentation, the format, the rigor, the content, and the experience of the PI and co-PI. Huh? So if you have co-PI, multiple co-PIs, so first PI resume, then co-PI 1, co-PI 2, I mean, you have to attach all their respective resumes in detail. Mention your prior work experience in management of the earlier research project. Okay. So that has to be given. Now, once they do that deep review, what happens is they have a panel presentation where you will be invited to make a presentation of 5 to 7 slides to the panel members, that why they should award you this project. So it's basically the need and justification, but they look at all chapter. You make one slide for each chapter, and that is good. And then you present it, okay, with your facts and figures. Now, once you have done this, UGC does this. AICT doesn't ask for earlier, but UGC asks for your panel presentation. Okay. And then, based on all these levels of scrutinization, we are awarded the funding project. Now, you will receive once. Now, just imagine that you have received that letter. What do we do next? What do we do next? Anybody? Now you have received, huh? So you have to be in that. Now, proposal criteria rating, I have already shared, huh? Okay. Now, let's go to this one. What's a good title? Then I'm going to walk you through with a real-time project, huh? What's a good title? Say, suppose I told you, like, if we are doing, say, for example, I gave you one example. If my example, I take it like that, implementation of AI in enabling student employability. Huh? Okay. Now, what happened here? What is the social factor here? Is social factor here is that student employability enhancement. Huh? Okay. So, when we are talking about those social dimensions, then they would be willing to fund you. Now, suppose I'm using a title like this, implementation of AI. I just say like that, or studying AI. So, since I have not been able to give any kind of social direction, my second topic would not get accepted. My first topic would get accepted because I have. So here you will see that how same topic, when we are proposing with the title, say study of mortar composition used in older bridges, forts, and if you are saying that study of bridges and ships in a locality. Now, when we are just saying in a locality, who are the respondents, who are the beneficiaries, why are we taking this topic, it's not self explanatory. That's the catch here. So you have to be little creative and innovative while we are designing the topic and picking up our agenda. Now, if you may say under roof, like yesterday we heard some topic that can you suggest some research proposal topic on in agriculture. Now you have to be passionate about any specific thing. Now you may say that you want research project. Okay, that's a good one. You you may like that, but you have to have certain level of skills. And how do they measure your level of skills is that they check your publication in that area of research. So suppose I have published my papers in women entrepreneurship and not published any paper in AIML, and I am asking for a project in AIML, then they would be kind of looking data digging for my personal profile, whether do I have enough experience. Okay, so if you see here, the resume format says that your experience. So in resume, we are going to talk about the name, our address, email ID, and all those things. यहाँ पे work experience we will write, and then we will talk about the research projects. There is also one additional one, projects or government projects or funded projects undertaken. Hmm? So when we write that and then we share that, okay, these are 4 5 projects we have undertaken and we have completed successfully. Now what happens is there is another clue to how we really complete a project successfully. Once we have got the award of the project funding, what happens next is that um, we submit project evaluation committee, PEC बोलते हैं उसको, PEC. Okay, so project evaluation committee report every in say ICSSR we used to ask us every 6 months. AICT asked us yearly. So it depends on how the government bodies want to have assessment, interim assessment. Okay, so they will check our interim, we call it progress report. So progress evaluation committee report. Okay, so it is in between report that once we have done that, what is my progress in next 6 months, or I think better it is to keep a documentation for 6 months or quarterly, and then you add up to it to make your complete thesis. excuse me, right? So when we are trying to say that how the projects are awarded, it is by the measurement of the experience of the PI in management and successful completion of the prior project that has been awarded. Now, how will we measure that? Prior project award will have certain, duration. Say, for example, if it is you have proposed for 2 years, 3 years, 2.5 years. So what we do is they check that whether we have completed within the stipulated time that we have mentioned during our project proposal. Now, suppose we have exceeded 1 month. We actually, I have not tried to exceed anywhere because I feel that once they close their windows, especially for government projects, they do not open it. And because you leave a certain digital footprint that you have not been able to submit on time, it I believe it can create a little hiccup in the later stage of the submission. So just try to give some project propose, I mean some progress, and then you move on. But it's like research projects is again project management, huh? So we should be able to go by the project planning and proposal timeline. I think we missed that timeline here after the budget. If you see here, after the budget, when I show you the real time one, you will be able to kind of measure. So after this recurring budget, there is a timeline we propose here. Okay, before the references we propose the timeline here, and then based on the timeline they check our updations, that our commitment what we have done, are we able to fulfill that. They're going to only measure our commitment with respect to what we have committed, huh? Okay, so that is how it is. Now if I just now these are the references, these are various links and call for proposal, and this is again the last slide, but I would now like to take you forward to my RPS proposal format. Now see a typical, can you see my screen, team? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, let me
Madam,
just
you
make
have
it big.
only zoomed that windows.
Can I? Yeah, I will zoom it. I will zoom it. So is it visible better?
Yes, yes, madam.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Now this is a typical project format. I have shared this one also with you, so you can refer. So suppose you're applying for any funding project, it should have a cover page, and the title should be mentioned here, RPS scheme, and then your name and your affiliation here. Like I shared that in the slide, that your affiliation should be there. So your affiliation, which organization they should be funding, and that has to have a separate account. Again, the accounts people should be creating one pure separate account to transfer the fund, and utilization of fund is again another bigger part of the whole entire project management. I'm going to walk you through. So typically this is a AICT format project, huh? Okay, so title of the project, suppose I'm taking any topic you can just suggest. Suppose we are taking that crop management. Suppose I'm taking that, say, application. Okay, let's just formulate one title: application of AIML for management of crop yield, higher yield for using pH and other monitoring devices. Okay. Now, major area, if it is social sciences, you will write social. If it is management area, then it is management, anything that is applicable. Okay. In this, after this, about this one should be about 10 words. Title of the project should be about 10 words. Major area. Okay. Project summary would be about 100, words. Originality is about 20 words, but originality has to be really purely original. Say, for example, if I am saying that previous researchers have not applied AIML um, models for crop yield. Okay, so you have to ensure that that's a true fact. I am just assuming, but you have to have a true fact. You need to know that there are papers which support this statement. Remember, every statement that we say in research becomes our liability, that has anyone quoted, or if it is from your pure research, then you will say it is self-created or self-researched, and you should have enough sufficient documentation to really prove. If there are published papers, then it is like the best, so that you don't have to justify anything. You just quote your paper and rest of the thing is just a fine storyline. Okay, so now we move on to the project objective, like we shared, So project objective primary would be here to study the crop yield variation. Okay, and secondary objective may be to study the application of AIML for studying the pH and variation, and say studying the temperature variation, and then you would say what is an optimum and which region. Again, this would also be region wise, huh? So you have to see that whether the project proposal is for North Delhi NCR, or say Pune and region, or say Maharashtra and region, or say pan India. You have to see to what extent you can execute the and share the benefits. Like one of the ICSSR projects, we took it for Delhi NCR, but we when the findings, and we actually, that ICSSR project was um, application of sound frequency in improving health index. And we literally made some, we made those frequencies, we ran it on the lab, and we ran it for pan India, and then we did one testing. We asked them that rate yourself in the we were proposing that sound frequency can improve health index by improving their happiness index, their joyfulness and their degree. So we measured the sadness, happiness, joyfulness before and after. So that was, again, you have to see how you measure the impact, and it's a very interesting part that you can design, but you have to sure about your research methodology that you can design that and measure it. Please ensure that you are doing a lot of research methodology to ensure that you can measure and justify what you're. So this justification of the project with the needs of the department, that your organization has such need, and also the organization from which we are requesting the funding, they also have, and that alignment is where, our both the parties are happy in funding your project. Okay, relevance of the project in terms of academics and research, I have mentioned that when we were talking about social research and academic implications. Okay, literature review of the paper should be around, I think it is, there's no number, but the more the merrier. A typical number would be around, say, minimum 40, 30 to 40, 30 bhi nahi, 40 and above, but more the merrier. Huh? So if you have that conceptual model, I'm going to share one of my research proposal there. Research methodology, mostly you have to see what is your objective. Based on that, you will talk about, say, mostly I use mixed methodology where I can create some empirical study, then I can create some case study. So depending on, if here it is about your crop, productivity and fertility, yield and everything, then you can say that those would be, based on the secondary data, because most of the past previous year's data, but it's again your methodology, which you should be very sure. Now, data analysis, you will just mention that the following, say, for example, I would be using, say, suppose you are saying, I would be using Smart PLS for analyzing the RFRC model, that's reliability factor, correlation, regression, and basis on on the basis of my pilot study, I would be doing my confirmatory study. And in between, I'm going to use the mixed methodology for developing certain case studies of, say, for example, model building on application of AI/ML for enhancing crop yield. And suppose I'm assuming Delhi NCR or say Pune region. So mixed method, you can develop case studies, then you can conclude your, just brief conclusion. What is intention? What is your, now this is an interesting part, international development of the project. Now we have to mention that it is about 150 words where international status. So we basically try to understand what is the need of this project internationally, where we corroborate with the existing literature review that has anyone done in that. But you know what, specific, say suppose some some research is done in Minnesota. When I try and duplicate that for Delhi, some factors like temperature may vary a lot when I'm taking that AIML application for crop yield. Huh? ठीक है, so and because the terrain of Delhi and terrain of Minnesota would be very different. Minnesota is like a very kind of snowy place in US. It's touching Canada border. Huh? ठीक है, so if you can very well understand that there are more lakes, so their physiological changes and our physiological changes may little vary, and then you have to take the respective factors. So you will say that I have adapted that experiment to modify it and to do it. That's also there, but if we can justify that, if the if we are doing enough innovation and originality, and again remember, we can adapt, but justify, we need to justify our own originality, how we are doing that. Now significance of the project is again the need converted into how important that can help the society to improve on their own. ठीक है. Now, commercial application is if there are any, patent coming out. Suppose you are able to make one AI-enabled app that, abhi recently we were doing one, we are still doing on project in a government one, where we are doing AI form filler. Huh? ठीक है? So AI form filler means it's like voice over IP. तो I'm speaking my name, Broto, and it is typing my name, Broto. Okay, so it's like in a very initial nascent stage where we are applying those initial models of language models, okay, which can convert the voice sound into words. Huh? Okay, so if you see that that's a commercial one and you patent it here, so you will write that patent filing, and you can actually add in your budget patent filing fees here. Hmm? So you can add that. So if your intentions are that, then, but however, if you are doing some project and you are patenting under that, then you ensure that, I mean, it will become a co-patenting, suppose you're doing under UGC, the UGC will also claim your patent. So it's going to be a shared project and shared patent. Huh? ठीक है. So duration, if we are saying it's 1 year, we ensure that 1 year. तो इसमें ना एक table ऐसे बनता है. I'm just going to insert it. Sorry, I didn't see that table here and I thought it was there. So we will just write here duration of the project. Say I will write the activity. Here, and then timeline. ठीक है. So remarks, if any. So I will just say initial literature review. हाँ, ठीक है. I will say 2 months. Okay. MNTHS. Right. And then data collection, I will say, right. Again, if you want to make it 6 months, MNTH, right? So you will just say, and data analysis 1 month, and then total karke, you can just say dash dash dash, and then you can say total my year is 1 year. Right? Okay, so you have to add on. So typically your duration of the project, literature review, you will say, then data collection, you will say, then you will say data analysis. You can say again, I think that whatever months are left, you can just say data analysis. Then again, there is a title called project writing and preparation, like it's the thesis writing. So you can add that duration also. And not only you can make it 1 year, if it is a 10 lakh project, make it 2 years. If it is 3 lakhs project, make it 1 year. So ऐसा करके, I mean, there is a no typical one, but this is out of experience I'm sharing. Huh? ठीक है. But if you have more allocated towards your non-recurring budget, but ठीक है, 36 lakhs, it should not be less than 3 years. So that's how it is. Right. Okay. Because it's the justification during over a period that how much you are spending the money and how much you are able to justify and do your execution. So recurring budget and non-recurring, I have already explained. So your total budget estimate will be recurring plus non-recurring, whatever rupees amount it comes here. You will write the place, you will write the date, and then you will write the name of the PI and the principal investigator. Co-PI है तो you can write it here. जो लोग भी हैं सब लोग, and then head of the institution, name and seal, has to approve your project. give them enough time to go through the project report, so that it should be actually, shared earlier, so that, the heads of the institution can actually give you some feedback, you can improve that, and then you can just do it and then submit it. But then this timeline and management of the whole project management itself is like a lot of planning. Now, section B of the report deals with the technical novelty. Novelty means how unique our contributions are, and how much it has not been researched, so that the funding, when given to us, can be justified in terms of the benefits that we are giving to the society. Okay, now next part is the possible avenues of future research. We'll just mention the tentative one. The actual ones can come when we are actually doing it in person. Okay, so possible avenues of future research, we can just say that application of AI ML can enhance the crop yield in this format, and then you can just take it to the next level. Commercial value, if it is not there, you will write not at present, but if there are, then you will say that I will scale up this to the next level of scaling up of my business, that will convert it into small scale and entrepreneurship. So it can actually happen that way. Okay, so your evolution of the project looks like that. Then we have, I think it was, the bibliography. You will write the references in detail. So that will look like this, all of it. Now, when we are completing the research project, some organizations, they want publications, but ICSSR did not want to have any publication because they wanted to have their copyright on that. But some organizations, they want that you have presented the paper, taken their feedback. So this is just a glimpse of the presentation and papers. If you have published, if see, now it is between us and the organization who's funding. You have to just ask before you communicate. Okay, so ensure that we are following policies at all levels. If they want to have the patent, then let it be. If you feel that you want to have the patent, then ensure that the policies are aligned between our organization and their organization. They should, even we should avoid all kinds of deviation from the policy. So just read the policy matter a lot and revisit it time and again. Okay, so that is how a typical project would look like. Now I will go to one project that I have executed. Let me see. Do I have it here? Meanwhile, you can revise. I'm just fetching my original RPS. I think it should be here. RPS. Let's see. Yeah, I got it. So this is one of a real time project that we have done. ICSSR one, I'll be able to fetch it. So this is how it looks when I'm executing. This is the project proposal one. But this report has project completion also. So just ensure that you are bifurcating. So I will tell you till what portion you are going to submit. See, if you see here, ये जो था, this project proposal format में ये नहीं लगाना है, project outcome नहीं लगाना है. ठीक है, intended project outcome is fine. We will submit till here, till the novelty one. यहाँ तक, till this page we submit. Okay. Yeah, referencing also we will submit. ठीक है. So we'll submit till here, but this one project outcome is later part. So now I'm going to take you to one of the real-time project. The proposal would look like that, and the real-time outcome would look like this. Okay. So suppose I was talking about influence of IoT on sustainable education, and we were trying to create a metaversity, adoption of all those things, and then, this was the initial project summary. You can see this. So project summary is here. Then we did that, you will introduce the project. Okay. Then we wrote the primary objectives. Here you will say that, how AI and IoT is creating more sustainable education, or green technology adoption is able to make more sustainable education. It's up to you. Okay. Secondary objective is the expanded version of that. So what are the factors and what are the opportunity evaluations we will just talk about. Then you may sometimes only write the primary objective, but AICT wants sometimes this, not sometimes, always the why. What's the purpose of having a secondary objective is to break down one objective into further objective. So secondary objectives would be further items how you measure those application of AIML. Okay. So justification of the project, we will write that how our implementation of AIML is going to help us in enhancing outreach of education. Basically now here, if we talk about education, how many children we are able to benefit. Okay, so what we did here is we were also, I mean, we are still in process of making it into an app, where they can just students can log in and have access, and it is irrespective of the university domain. More students can get educated. It was actually, it's in a developing phase, but that's how it is. Relevance of the project is, we call it research implication, managerial implication, so those can be there. Review of literature can be about, say, now see, you will be it is typically like writing a paper. Review of literature should be, again, one paragraph you're writing like this, and rest of the paragraph you are doing variable wise. So I'm saying that how my AI implementation is enabling creation of metaversity. That is a future, actually future direction. So we did that, and then we tried to identify what is my hypothesis you will give based on this literature review. So we will say, based on the above literature review, we propose the following hypothesis. We will give this one up till hypothesis you can give. ठीक है, and you must give so that they know that. So we will say technology adoption influences the online adoption education. I mean, for sustainable education, you can just say. Now these are the cost, and what are they? These are the drivers of adoption. So what we did was, these are the factors which influence my adoption of AIML largely. Online education. Basically, we actually applied it to online education. Again, the satisfaction. So you can just write the hypothesis that cost influences adoption, and then satisfaction influences adoption. Okay, so we did all those. Ease of use of the technology. So we do the literature review classification as variable wise. Okay, right? And once we have done that variable wise, we now would go on to develop my construct. अब आप देखिए यहाँ पे, I mean, you will be finding that this is my conceptual model which I shared there. So I have made 1:1. Simple. You can make multiple. You can keep here AIML as a moderator or a mediator. We did one smart PLS today. I will, if possible, I can share that also outcomes. So you can actually see that satisfaction leading to adoption of online, and AIML can be a moderator or a mediator here. And you say that this adoption is getting affected or influenced by the research outcome. Now, further on, research methodology, this up till here you have to write like this in our research proposal. We are now writing. ठीक है? We are writing continuously. With you, we together are writing. Now, research methodology, we will mention that we are going to either do it through secondary search or primary search. So empirical design, I usually do it with empirical and mixed method. Empirical means I would collect data, and then you can do it through secondary research like that crop one, because you can't collect data every day. So you will have to really use the meteorological data. So it's up to you how you want to go about. How it's actually, that's why it's known as research design. So how beautifully you can actually design this research is up to us, and it's a very beautiful journey. Conceptual modeling, it's like, you can make it simple, or you can make it complicated as much as you want. Okay, right. So then you have this. So you will say that you are going to collect primary data from so and so, and these are going to be the, this is again sample size. ये देखो इसमें. Now, you must mention them the sample size and the region. Why? Here it is, if you use here at all 2003, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 multiplied by 25 will be my sample size. हाँ ठीक है, so यहाँ पे इतने 10 किया है. This is actually a different method. This is Klein's method. I have adopted the Hare's method. So if you do it that way, also it is coming out to be 250 and this is coming out to be 210. So approximately that's the number. But depend karta hai ki, I mean, what's how many variables are you going to study? Now that's an interesting part. Here I told you my input variables are 4, my process is here, and then output variable is 1. So total number of variables 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is my total number of variables that I'm going to study. And then I multiplied by 25. That makes it 125 sample size. If it is 210, 125 or more will be your sample size. You must mention that. Hmm? For modeling with AI/ML, then those research projects, they can just mention what is their appropriate. They can, I don't think so, Kaggle data you can use for research project. You have to collect some real-time project. Okay, so you ensure that you are doing that. And okay, now data analysis, once we have collected the data and ensured that it's randomly, given there. These are just the codes for my variables. So satisfaction S and this. Then you have the model. We ran it on RFRC. What is RFRC? Is like, RFRC. You will have to mention कि आप कौन से में करोगे. So it's R means reliability, F means factor, R is regression, and C is correlation. Okay, this is a plain simple model for hypothesis testing. So once we have done, यहाँ पे reliability कहीं पे must have given up or down. हाँ ठीक है. This is regression summary. हाँ. Regression summary, suppose society is getting benefited, customer attitude, understanding, and use of AI in job creation. Okay, so my R square value is 0.763 and sorry, R square, and R square is 582 and R is this R is not that, this is the regression coefficient. Okay. So standard error, more the significance is more towards 0, the model is accepted. So you have to mention this. You don't need to give the table like this. Huh? Table to baad mein aayega. Huh? Okay. So you just mention that I'm going to adopt this methodology and I'm going to run it like this. So these are all my research outcomes. See here we proposed one that AI can enhance the experiential learning, use AI in jobs, consumer attitude, complex design. This is complex design using AI. So my students, when they are using AI to design the complex design, these are the factors. Okay, so you can just design. These are typically of your design. Okay, so then I did that factor analysis. Okay, factor analysis, you do the, what is this? These are the extraction coefficient of every item that I have measured to measure my, suppose, experiential learning. Okay, so experiential learning has 0.628. So it's like, if anything is less than 0.5, none of them. Okay, so it's basically this one comes out from our literature review. That's why I'm sharing that. Kindly do literature review very strongly, because once you have collected data and anything gets dropped here, you don't drop anything directly. If it is like 549 is zero point 0.5, huh? Because somewhere you have included that data thinking there is some importance. So don't drop it, just justify, but don't see that not many are just getting dropped out, or just have to be justified. They have to be self-explanatory. Now, if you see here, what I did was I did the RFRC, and then here it is cumulative loading, and total loading was, say, suppose it is 71.8. So anything more than 60 will be accepted as your model. That means whatever model, which model? This model, right? My proposal of this model is accepted. Huh? That number, when it is more than 60, this will come out of SPSS. Huh? Okay, I've used SPSS. Huh? Okay, so now here you will know these are the iterations which the model runs. So once you collect data, and then reliability statistics, yeah, I told you, no, RFRC. So reliability has to be more than 0.5, 0.7. I would say. And my my scale had questionnaire had 38 items. Huh? Okay. Now correlations are, suppose I'm just interpreting very vaguely. Hmm? Uh, So suppose I'm saying I'll pick up something like which is more than zero point 0.5. Huh? That's why now you may say why I'm picking up. Ask questions. Huh? Please feel free. Now suppose this is 0.66633. So I will say that metaversity using AIML is significantly correlated to benefiting to the to the students. Okay, so that is the correlation. So you will say 0.581 when we are when we are using AIML to create a metaversity, there is a significant correlation in the enhancement of student experiential learning. जैसे वो training and development करते हैं ना, so their experiential learning when they are doing in 3D, they will see the Toyota plant in a better way. We did that experiment and then we asked the students was it better or not. So pre and post we measured. हाँ ठीक है ये वाला जैसे if you are using gaming app for learning that has a significant contribution towards अब ऊपर चले towards use of AI on creation of metaversity. Huh? ठीक है. So these are some of the factors, and this is like these are very interesting areas of how you interpret. But ensure that you are designing the questionnaire, you're designing the tools nicely so that you are able to get the data that is actually serving your objective and purpose, and then we did that research data analysis. We further kept on doing the research analysis. This is component matrix, basically shows that how many components are loading on this. तो ये अब आप ये बोलोगे कि how is it connected with my research proposal? This is where we have अब हम क्या किया हमने we have submitted the research proposal, we have got it awarded. After that, my phase, I'm sharing that this is the project evaluation report that I submitted and the project completion in between. Okay. Right. So your project evaluation report would not all of the report would go for 2 months. Huh? This is completion report. Completion report would look like this. ठीक है so total variance and then you keep on doing that as per your objective huh ठीक है then we have this models done okay right let me just interpret something we did that हाँ model building करते हैं and then we are going to take lot of questions हाँ ठीक है feel free to interact even now also you can just stop me and ask so here suppose my correlation is say application of AI is यहाँ पे क्या है ऊपर let's just see हाँ see salary when we are our students are adopting AI their salaries are have been found to increase ये देखो why because they are increasing their self concept is what self concept is your development our own self perception okay so this is actually a marketing concept so you see it is more than 0.588 so these are very interesting findings if you see now if we talk about generation of ideas and we are adopting AIML so generating ideas AIML does not help to that extent but to extent 0.5 and above it is helping so my point which I'm trying to make is that when the students are using AIML, they have to also integrate and synthesize their own learning with AIML to really innovate more when they are doing any kind of experiential learning. So, one is that we get the some we call it data analytics but then how do we interpret that data analytics to sustain and survive the project objective and then convert it into research publication is again another skill that is again very appreciated so if you see we will write like this so we will say that their learning ability increased highly when they are using AIML for enhancing self concept to the tune of 0.622 right so this is just a simple I'm sure many of you will be using this method just a revision so now this one is the factor analysis where we are trying to understand I think my questionnaire had 38 questions. So how many questions were loaded on a typical one, variable? Huh? So abhi I'm going to go to my conceptual model. So you see here till here, then this one is another factor using AI in job to become more. In fact, we found that when people were using, they're also more happier and their social benefits were also higher, and they felt more daily need for daily use. So that was also the questionnaire. And then minus shows a negative correlation, and when it is like scattered one or two, we will just drop these items completely. Like this one we will not take, but if it is like minus kya hai, AI in this minus, we just did not include in our model as per the objective. But you may see what is the necessity. It is just the inverse correlation in the factor analysis when we are using principal component analysis. Now, this is again, we are trying to find out the significance of AI in application to education. And then we made some case study. Okay, like in Nike they are using the augmented reality, so when you can just see yourself running and jogging when you're wearing their shoes. I'm just trying to make it a little interesting. That's again, so these companies are using a lot of these kind of layers to really advertise customer engagement, that has actually shown that when they are using these kind of AI enabled technology, their sales has also and customer engagement has also gone up because they're using this different augmented reality. But those are just applications. Don't worry about that. Okay, right. Okay, so we just created couple of case studies there. Then the conclusion. Um, okay, right. Now, okay, there are a little more analysis. Now, again, remember, if whatever you have promised, just ensure that your data analysis suffices, and just writing the table. With the table, you have to write the interpretation also with respect to our hypothesis and objective. ठीक है. Now, based on that, we designed this model. This came from SPSS. Okay, so these were the input variables, these were the mediator variables, and these were the output variables. Output variables were online adoption, and the second one was the SDG attainment. So suppose AI was making impression or not, AI was feeling excited or not, these kind of questions were kind of tapped in. These modeling, you can just do it with the software. If you need any more help, you can let me know. We can share more. Okay, so case processing summary is again, total number. ये confirmatory analysis का था, where my total respondents and then questions, it became more. That was the pilot study. This one was so this is the SPSS model. Okay, you can do it with smart PLS. These are the error values. These are the drivers. These are the correlation variables. So regression coefficients are in between. But these are path coefficients given. Whatever you proposed, you can just say that that is what my hypothesis. But ये पता क्या होता है? This is like a good proposal will have a back end operation going on. मतलब yesterday I faced couple of questions, like, I mean, the audience was asking, one question is, to what depth do you prepare these project? Partly, what I do is almost my 50% project is already covered and I know what are the outcomes. Then I kind of, that much work we do before we apply for project. Now, I would not like to scare you. Don't get scared. It's just a passion project. Okay. So just keep doing something in your area of interest and something beautiful will come out. Don't worry. Things will fall in place. So it's more about our passion towards research, and we continue to do that. And then results are these fundings, results are the publications, results are your passion, your fruit of labor is that gets converted. So don't feel you just feel upbeated. And I know it's tough to really have that stamina in research, but it's just the passion to to be curious enough. I just call it to be curious enough. Huh? So this was a kind of typical model that came out. So, metaversity, when used in medical imaging, business launch, self development, there was a significant correlation with the societal benefit that went into increasing the happiness index, learning capability, sustainable education. And similarly, we found that when AI was used in market research, we could help in analyzing consumer behavior study. Total number of products that could be designed was more. There was also increase in number of product innovation once the students were using AI in their learning abilities. And you see that this kind of application of AI helped them in enhancing their decision making skill, including the high complex decision. Now, how will you define how high complex decision is? Where, if I'm talking about sales of agricultural component, I would say you do budgeting, you do forecasting, you do market research, everything, then a lot of the things become complex, right? So those are, you have, complex decision has more moving parts. Simple. So you can just do that. And then self concept, when it was applied, it enhanced the application. The salary was also, it was found to be, increasing. And then AI use enhanced the student learning. And people, students were excited while they were using. In financial analytics, when it was being used, it could detect more fraud detection, investment system. And in startup and entrepreneurship, the ability to launch business, startups ecosystem, good investment decisions. So the overall, we said that the project helped in enhancing learning abilities and increasing the employability of the students and creating a sustainable education portal there. Okay, so this one was there. And then international development, again, that was a part of that. So we just said that these were the international development. So you pick up some nice research paper and that shows that the correlation, you will talk about that international status where you will corroborate their studies. So you see a lot of the references are here. I'm highlighting that, but you can do more significance. Again, everywhere you should mention some research papers. See, here also I have supported it with research papers. And commercial application is the patenting process that I have shared in my last one. Duration of the project, this one was 1 year. And a typical project मेरा वो था, non-recurring expenditure was 45 because this was BVDU project. And that was the kind of, at that time it was an upper limit. So we just said that we will do it with this expenditure. And recurring plus total expenditure came out to be this. And then we had this is a signature. You write your name, you sign it here. And while you are submitting any project proposal, progress reports, and the um, completion report. Completion report is also necessary. Then I'm going to talk about what's the next phase. So your head of the institution name and the stamp and seal is very, very necessary here. Now, again, a very interesting part which where, execution gets little hampered. Novelty मैंने बता दिया. ठीक है ना? These were, again, we have already done. Where the critical aspect comes in the utilization of project. Okay, here if you see, let's go to the budget. Now, once they have given, they're going to check this. So our organization needs to have a separate account for receiving the project funding. That's number one, a mandatory criteria. Isko na PMY, Prime Minister Yojana Fund. You create one under that, and then only the funds get transferred. It cannot be transferred otherwise. It's known like that only. Okay. So our organization needs to create that account, special account for receiving the funding of your project. Okay. Whatever is the amount, including 1 single rupee. Okay. Once it is received, we will send the project progress. First, when we receive that, what do? We accept. Yes, I am very happy and grateful that we have this, and project report by you have accepted. Then you are going to just say that, okay, this is my account detail, kindly transfer to this organization. Your organization may, when we are doing utilization certificate, UTR ka format, that's a general format given by the organization. So AICT will have as a annexure. यहाँ पे ना एक annexure करके होता है और what document में that उसमें mention होता है the utilization certificate here. This is to certify that so and so has utilized the funding as per the project proposal only for the project purpose, and then नीचे आपका signature, head of the organization, accountant का signature, head of the organization here and accountant का signature here. They are going to check everything. And now one more, when we are executing the project, remember every single thing that you have expenditure on, keep their bills. Okay, keep their bills and make an excel sheet. Excel sheet मान लीजिए ऐसे ही बनाएंगे आप, उसमें ना Hmm, let me do it here. कहाँ थे? We were here. I'm going to actually share one more. Right. So suppose we are doing that, utilization certificate would look like this. यहाँ पे ना ऐसे दिखता है. Utilization certificate. हाँ, ये सेंट्रल लाइन होता है. एंड देन दिस इज टू सर्टिफाई, ऐसे ऐसे करके ना वो पूरा उनका टाइप आता है. ठीक है, नीचे सिग्नेचर्स. यू हैव टू मेक एन एक्सेल शीट for yourself. Now that's the critical part where you do the project management. You will say that suppose I have bought this item on this date. कहाँ गया? On this date. And now again, that's very interesting. You have to see that the purchase of the date is within the timeline of the project. Even if it is one day beyond, it cannot be included. The bills cannot be included. Okay. So the date of the project proposal is from the date of approval till the date of submission and completion. Ensure that is there. So then what do? Item हो गया आपका, आपने मान लीजिए सॉफ्टवेयर SPSS खरीद लिया. ठीक है, और फिर डेट आपने डाल दिया, एंड देन यू आर गोइंग टू राइट इनवॉइस नंबर. And then you're going to, this is the documentation, and what do we write? Item, date, invoice number, and remarks if any. Delivered or not delivered or whatever, you just for your memory aid. This is a typical Excel you make here to document your and attach the invoice here. Keep a copy of every document. It is mostly a project management is a lot about document management. So we keep all that and real time basis. और अगर आपका ना एक project में, it was very interesting to observe that वो जो आपका जो traveling bill होता है ना, you go by your car, suppose you are using your own car, and 10 rupees per kilometer वो दे रहा है. I mean, I'm talking about the government norm. 10 या 11 देते हैं, whatever. और depending on the region भी देते हैं. हाँ, ठीक है. Now what we do is वो पेट्रोल पंप का जो बिल होता है वो इवेपोरेट हो जाता है. तो what is the documentation part is, जब भी आपका आए उसको you paste it on white sheet and then keep the photocopies of it. Otherwise it will evaporate after 2 years and then we are under loss. So that is the documentation part. Bibliography I have shared, and okay, so that so अब हमने क्या किया? Once we have made the project, we have submitted it, we have completed it. We have completed it, right? And now I have submitted the project completion. Any questions? The floor is open for questions. And I would like to make it very interactive. Feel free to interact at any point of time. Yeah. So, and then meanwhile, I'll just check if I have something more to share. Project proposal format I have shared. Okay, I was trying to find out my AICT project. Give me a moment. Meanwhile, you can move on to the question part. I will just try to find out AICT project. नहीं, ठीक है, हाँ हाँ, कंटिन्यू कंटिन्यू, आई एम जस्ट सर्चिंग फॉर सम मोर डॉक्यूमेंट, आई मीन व्हाट आई कैन हेल्प द टीम विथ. या प्लीज गो अहेड, ओवर टू यू.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you for giving me this very
Yes,
wonderful
participants,
opportunity.
now the session is open for question and answer. You can ask question, madam, regarding this. Already, madam has explained almost everything, but still, if you have any doubt, you can ask.
Anytime.
Session is open for questions.
Madam, is there any time duration to submit the proposal
I
for
think
government?
time, sorry, can you just, tell me?
Is there any particular time duration to submit the proposal for the government bodies?
Yes, there is always, I told you, no, यहाँ पे, if you can see, I was having one project proposal open now. Acha, let me just take you to this one. I was searching for you guys, you all only. So if you just copy paste my slide here, so every, see, first, सबसे पहला पता है क्या step होता है? You have to understand which area you want to apply. Hmm? See, this is how we do it. I have given a lot of links there, 4, 5 links. Due to lack of time, I was actually in the FDP in the morning also, and I had my exam duty. So you will suppose you are interested in climate change. Huh? I'm just giving example. You have to first and foremost remember, thank you for that very good question, ma'am. You have to remember ki what you want to contribute in which area. हाँ, so in that area you go and search for, suppose अभी देखो, ठीक है, मैं एक और भी generalize बताती हूँ. Ma'am, what is your area of research? Can you just share please? And थोड़ा loud होना, आज ना हमारा cultural fest है, तो you can understand the excitement around. Please don't mind. हाँ, tell me. Ma'am, you can suggest some. Huh?
Yes, madam. In AI.
In AI, but AI in which area, ma'am? It's a vast area. Like, I have done one research project आज भी morning में.
Yes.
देखो आपको मैं दिखा रही हूँ. इसमें ना एक research paper है. कहाँ गया ये? ये this is in AI in क्या है? AI in green supply chain management. ये देखो, ये AI model है, ये blockchain technology है, ये CSR है, और ये है. ठीक है, तो अभी आपको ये देखना है कि what is your area of AI contribution in which area?
AI in waste management.
ओके, चलो गुड. एआई इन वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट हम मैंने डाल दिया. कॉल फॉर रिसर्च proposals. Now this is how you can actually go. This is again open field. Huh? You can actually go for this, you if you want international, but AI for AI in waste management ना आपको उसमें मिल जाएगा. I think इसमें भी आ जाएगा. Like ICSSR, AICT, UGC will have. Now, what you will do is you will go to their, suppose I will go AICT research. इस साल का तो मेरे ख्याल से अभी तक नहीं खुला है. I was checking that. AICT research proposal 2026. जून में खुलेगा ये. फॉर कमिंग ईयर, आई थिंक सो. ठीक है, तो आपको ऐसे देखना है कि फर्स्ट एक तो ना यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. हाँ, कि माय रिसर्च इज अलाइंड विद दीज एरियाज एंड देयर मिशंस. हाँ, सपोज AICT is in climate change and sustainable development, education, AI implementation for waste management. So you see that all these agencies, उनके website पे you go and then you try to find out their deadlines. हाँ, ये देखो अभी यहाँ पे आया होगा क्या? ये 3rd March को तो कुछ है, आई डोंट नो. बट देन यू विल हैव टू चेक फॉर द स्पेशल RPS. जस्ट गिव अ सर्च वर्ड फॉर RPS, एंड यहाँ पे ये दे कॉल इट RPS, कैपिटल RPS. ये है ना, ये आ गया. बट इसमें जाके अंदर से यू विल हैव टू सर्च फॉर दैट, एंड देन you will have to, your question was regarding the timeline. Yes, you have to follow the timeline before time. Don't try to upload your क्या बोलते हैं उसको, research proposal on the day, because the website may not accept it. Huh. So don't wait for the last days. Just do it at least well in advance, 1 week, 2 week before, so that you have some. और उसमें ना website पे वो होता है, you can go back and improve also. But at least your entries are already there. Huh? But if our website is not working, then it will become very difficult for us to have that, uploading. And they don't allow us, even if it is for a second, you have exceeded the time. So timeline is very necessary. Please respect that for all. Corporates का consultancy project, I don't know, depends on the corporate people. वो आपके सामने वाला will allow you or not. That will depend on their understanding and your understanding. But mostly it is like the deadline, and that's the one. Because they have to also, report to the further agencies, I mean, higher ups, that these many projects have. Because, like, let me share my journey with ICSSR. ICSSR में क्या होता था? See, all ICSSR, UGC, and AICT, they had different modus operandi. So ICSSR, every month we used to have that kind of क्या, we call it project evaluation progress meeting. So they would send us that link, and we were supposed to log in along with our research associates, जिसको भी आपने hire किया हुआ है, and then you are going to update them कि okay, and all the researchers on the common topic. Suppose my topic was on startup, so digitalization and startup tha, ठीक है? So in that topic we will just sit through, and then briefly हम लोग slides पहले ही we would just send it to them, and they would do the project assessment. If they had some actually वो लोग मेल पे तो feedback नहीं भेजते थे. They used to send us the feedback on during our online project progress presentations. Huh? So similarly, like I said, that in the initial one, when you submit, you have to present your work also. So everything is deadline oriented here. This one also, and this one also, जो आप first phase में you submit, that is also very very deadline oriented. That's why I shared that mostly my projects are 50% done before I apply for project funding. Huh? So that's how it is, right? Thank you for the good question. Over to you. Any more questions? I'll be very happy to answer. Mostly you have to just select what are you passionate about. I was actually talking to Shabnam ma'am that here, due to time crunch, what you can actually do is you can select one topic, develop all these models. Sir, I have also mailed you this one. ये जो कहाँ था? Document. Uh, the RPS format I have mailed you. So let the participants have the format and develop it on their own, this Word document. And maybe after you develop in next 10 to 15 days, you can, share it with us. Um, for confidentiality, I would request कि आप अपने पास ही रखो और आप हमें presentation mode पे दे दो, so that you keep your confidentiality, and then we can just tell you ki, okay, how the project proposals can be improved. Okay, so that was another workshop mode of making project proposal, but it is all up to the participants how you want to do it. We are okay. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Hmm. Any more questions?
Yes, participants, if you have any questions, please ask.
The background of any research project is literature review. Okay, so my humble submission would be, try to do the literature review in detail as much as you, and you know what, literature review doesn't require much funding. Huh? You can just read the abstract and find out lot of it. How I do, what I do is, suppose I don't have access, institutional access to research papers. So suppose अभी मैम का research ही करते हैं अभी ना, ठीक है? AI in waste management. So I would really do it in this way that, and then I would ask for research papers here. Suppose I don't have institutional access and Scopus में पूरा पेपर नहीं मिल रहा है, तो I would go to the, ये देखो Science Direct में ये मिल जाएगा आपको, and then you start reading about, and this one doesn't take any funding. because your institute, you must be having a desktop and internet. You just need these two things. You start reading this paper, and then this paper would have around करीब I think it would have more than 50 70. इसमें देखिए scale भी दिया हुआ है. See, if you check, it is the scale is also given. It's and the total methodology is given. um, so you just read this methodology, you do in-depth study, and then you have about say 100 literature reviews. Okay, so if you click on, you want to read about some author here, you click here and then right click, and they will give you. If you want to go to the paper, say how IoT is being used, you go and click over here and you can get another paper free of cost. So literature review, I would kind of what I do is I keep on reading, and uh, I just try and see, okay, this will connect. So after you do this kind of, you keep on reading, you get a lot of ideas, but when you're reading, you just document also. हाँ, तो मैं क्या करूँगी अभी इसको, I will just try to document the abstract part. हाँ, so you can just document the abstract and reread and understand. Once you are apt with this method, you will start, you just can copy and then go to the Word doc and then create one file and then just paste it here. Okay, so my project has already started. This is how I usually start my project. So I would start my project like this, that okay, I will just title it waste management, a application of AI in waste management, and I start reading. Huh? That's a basic method I'm telling you. And then I would read, and then I would keep on doing if I think that I can do some testing. और अगर मान लो आपके पास resource crunch है और आप institute से बाहर नहीं जा सकते, you can sit and do case studies on, say for example, because your experience, how would we have experience in that? You need to just do that. Okay, let me just do it this way. I would go here and then I would just say case studies in application of AI in waste management, है ना? तो इसको आपने document कर लिया, and then try to find out how these case studies are, which companies are adopting. So this doesn't require much funding. So with the basics, with these kind of basics, you can develop your Word doc, जो मैंने ये वाला बोला. Hmm? That's how I do 50% work and the groundwork. We call it spade work for research. Huh? This is like my continuous hobby. I would say that that's my hobby. But I'm sure you all have that similar hobbies. Huh? ठीक है? So I would just do that. And then as it keeps on developing and कोई deadline आ जाता है. ठीक है, जब डेडलाइन आएगा and then you are saying कि within 15 days I have to submit this project proposal. Of course, we do that, but without experience, that becomes very toll taxing on your health. Hmm. So, if you already have a backup and all of a sudden there is a call for paper that's coming up, we just extract part of it from here, we edit everything, and then we just, adopt, modify, and then you can just, make a proposal of 15 pages out of, may say, 50 pages that you've already created, and that is how you can submit it on time. ये मतलब I'm just telling the back end operation that I do. You may have better method, but you can try doing that also. हाँ? ठीक है? But it's a good question, right? Any other questions you have?
Ma'am,
Hmm.
just I want to know that is it true that most of the proposal, if it is based on the thrust area, so there is a good chances to get approval as early as possible?
हाँ, yes, yes. Sometimes, it has been some situation like this that uh, actually इसमें ना मैम क्या है? It's a very good question. It's about our preparedness to receive. Huh? Now, how would we measure? How would the government measure our preparedness? Or funding agencies will measure our preparedness? इसमें क्या होगा कि मेरा ना वो resume देख लेंगे. They are going to check my resume and then check whether I have the publication. So they will go and give a search word AI. और AI में कितने publications हैं वो artificial intelligence के, और उसका citation कितना है वो experience check कर लेंगे वो लोग जाके. Right? and everything is so much transparent that you can anything of our caliber they can measure it, huh? So they will just check that, and if you are into say corporate entrepreneurship and you're applying for some entrepreneurial project, immediately they will give it. And mostly, the government projects are, they don't receive enough funding. So ऐसा भी हुआ है कि मेरे को फोन करके बोला, मैम आप जस्ट कैन यू सबमिट रिसर्च प्रपोजल बाय 4 PM टुडे। अब आप सोचो कि मॉर्निंग में आया मेरे पास 10 AM, एंड 4 PM उस समय तो इट वाज लाइक वे बैक इन 2011 आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट। So they would call us at 10 and then say कि बस 4 PM हमारे पास हार्ड कॉपी पहुंच जाना चाहिए। We have got funded that ways also. So I mean it's like, अब आप बताओ 5-6 घंटे में क्या करेंगे हम, जबकि हमें प्रिंट आउट भी निकालना है और उसको किसी को भेज के हम लोगों ने इन पर्सन AICT के ऑफिस में वी जस्ट गेट गॉट इट पंच्ड बाय, क्योंकि जब पंचिंग करते हैं तो दे इट विल हैव 4 PM। हाँ, दे विल पुट इन द टाइम। तो वो 4 PM का टाइम डाल के और उसको अंदर कर दिया पेपर। उसके बाद का प्रोसेस जो है वो प्रेजेंटेशन एंड एवरीथिंग, ऑल दोज थिंग्स आर देयर। बट जो आपका है, मतलब यू हैव टू सी दैट हाउ रेडी यू आर। So it has, जो experiences whatever I have shared is like all real time basis experience. So just our preparedness to receive funding is the key. Second key is to have an account where your money can be transferred. Third is you need to have a support system in terms of your researchers, in terms of your accounts, people supporting, so that your auditing, we call it project audit, huh? So after you submit all the bills, they will do the auditing, and project का ना वो कैसे बनता है, ऐसे बनता है, where was my research proposal? Suppose I am doing it here. So auditing would be simply that Excel that we created. Remember, somewhere we created that Excel. हाँ, वो जो हमने document किया था. Suppose I'm buying this technology at this amount and the invoice number is here. They will just check the invoice and the bill का reality. ठीक है, ताकि वो, क्योंकि एक बार once you submit it to government or any agency, they are also going to do the audit in the similar way. Second auditing they do is that you have spent, suppose in technology I have promised I will spend only 50,000, have I spent more than that or less than that? That is all. So this is a part of the auditing part. So the third thing is that you need to have accountant who are able to, documentation तो मैंने बता दिया आपको, right? You need to just produce those papers to them and they are able to kind of endorse on your behalf that the project has been completed and the funds have been
How many
um,
paper is expected to be required related
which,
to the proposal subject?
sorry, I it was actually a lot of sound is happening at my end. Sorry, can you be
Am
louder,
I
ma'am?
audible, ma'am? Am I
Ha,
audible?
better.
Yeah,
Thanks.
ma'am, you just now told that the publication is required. It will be get a good weightage over there. So how
Hmm.
many
Hmm.
expected the paper related required on that subject?
There is no number, ma'am, but you know what happens is
But
अगर
at
स्कोपस
least
में
we
एक
should
पेपर
have
आ
five to
जाता है,
six publications related
नहीं
to the
डिपेंड,
domain.
हाँ दैट इज ओके, द मोर द मेरियर। अगर आपके पास स्कोपस का एक पेपर है तो एक्सेप्टेड है ना, स्कोपस जर्नल। आई एम श्योर एवरीबडी विल बी अप्रिशिएटिंग, भाई इसने, आई मीन यू हैव रियली वर्कड हार्ड टू रियली रीच दैट लेवल। बट इफ यू हैव यूजीसी केयर और अदर थिंग्स, डॉक्यूमेंट एवरीथिंग दैट यू हैव। इन फैक्ट I know that our organization is, I mean, they are discouraging the peer reviewed, but आपके पास है तो अपने resume में तो kindly include all.
Okay. And one
ठीक
more,
है,
ma'am,
हाँ
there is
हाँ,
a need to mention the outcome over there, that trust areas of that
intended
proposal.
outcomes,
It
yes,
is
good
mandatory
question, हाँ हाँ
to be
हाँ हाँ,
mentioned. Where we
intended
need to be
outcome,
mentioned, ma'am?
हियर इंटेंडेड आउटकम है ना बजट से, इसके बाद ही आता है इंटेंडेड आउटकम,
Okay.
कंक्लूजन से पहले
बजट के बाद.
यहाँ पे।
Okay.
हाँ हाँ, बजट के बाद इंटेंडेड आउटकम होगा। ये एक्चुअली
Hmm.
ना ये यहाँ पे डाल देते हैं हम लोग। इफ आई टेक यू टू
Okay.
माय प्रोजेक्ट, ये तो एक्चुअली प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीशन है, लेट मी टेक यू टू द प्रोजेक्ट डेवलपमेंट फेज। इंटेंडेड आउटकम यहाँ पे आएगा, कमर्शियल एप्लीकेशन एंड इंटेंडेड आउटकम यहाँ डाल दीजिए, ठीक है? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so
Got it.
whatever is your intention,
Hmm.
we will just write it. I think it is like, we will write it project outcome
Hmm.
and bracket में लिखेंगे intended. You got my point? Hmm?
Yes, got it.
So that's a part of the project writing proposal. Yeah, yeah. Good question. And project outcomes are actually, you know what, in this project format, they have measured in terms of, agar you go here, see, this is how they have actually measured your intended outcome. है ना? Your novelty, your avenues of application, and your commercial value. But you write it there also, intended outcome, because that word is not used. So suppose they give a search word for intended outcome, they will be able to find out. A good thing. Hmm. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good question.
Yes, any
But
other
you,
questions?
yeah, I was just thinking, I just sensed some inhibition that you may be thinking that I don't have enough experience and enough publication. Don't worry about that. Just keep making. Research is like one baby step each time. So, and you know what? If you say that I was actually listening to yesterday's talk, so if you're applying to corporate, they may not require that many endorsement or projects. Sorry, they may not require publications that much. So you can actually apply to companies which are, but if you're looking at this like ICSSR भी publication दिखता है हाँ ICSSR UGC AICT हाँ
ICSR
ये
is
तीनों
mandatory.
दिखता
They
है
saw the publications
हाँ
and
Means
हाँ
actually
हाँ हाँ
council
endorsement
is
हाँ
required your
finding
हाँ
publication
publications.
and
हाँ हाँ
uh,
हाँ
the industry CSR fund not required your publications, right?
हाँ, yes, sir. ठीक. So my point is, don't get scared about anything, please. Just work on it. Even small
Yes.
bits and pieces would actually add, because research is again your affection. So I would respect and salute every work that you do, and then you should respect in that same way. Project मिलना नहीं मिलना, that's not in our hand, but work करना तो हमारे hand में है ना. And you know what, let me tell you, there were cases also where we did not get the project award, but those projects got converted into research paper and went into Scopus. So I think no work is small. So don't feel bad if that awarding ceremony doesn't happen. It comes through bits and pieces. So I would say that don't leave any uh, kind of project. Once you've started, just walk on it, and then keep submitting to journals, to research agencies, to companies, to consultancies for funding. But you may ask me how long we can just sustain that stamina. Good question. So you can actually love thyself, love thy research project, I would just say, because judgment is tough, but continue to work, because work will actually develop. It's like building a pyramid. So it works on every, don't worry, it's like rejection is delay. It's not a rejection, it's a delay process, means we are not ready to receive. So when we keep on building, suppose I'm talking about AIML in waste management, so madam up, you keep on building usko thoda communicate, you communicate to the journal, you communicate to this. Sometimes they give feedback, journal people, they will give you feedback. Research agencies will not give you feedback. So in that way you can just learn and work on it to ensure that your publication and project proposal goes hand in hand, and you can actually enhance the overall development. Thank you. Thank you.
Madam, I have one question.
Yeah.
Um, I'm Vaishali Patel, and
Yeah,
my
thank
question
you.
is that
Mm.
if we put up any proposal and if it gets rejected, so do we get the feedback for improvement, or do we get any like understanding that why it got rejected?
No, that
No,
is what I
no.
said. Agencies will don't, they will,
Madam, no
मैम
feedback.
ये तो 250 लोगों को एक साथ बुला लेते हैं, उसमें से भी 10% ही acceptance होता है. So they hardly have time to give you ये, but when you
Okay.
reflect back, but इसमें पता है catch क्या है, वही मैं बता रही थी कि आप अगर, if you take the format which I've shared with Shabnam ma'am, and you can just develop that. देख के बता दूंगी कि I mean this will get accepted, this will not get accepted, and where you need to contribute. हाँ, तो वो हो जाएगा, but you do it well in advance before the deadlines of the respective agencies that you're targeting. Huh? So first select your topic, match it with the agency interest areas and their mission and their areas of contribution so that they are together. Suppose they are only working on circular economy and waste management, तो आप उनको you can target them. Like a lot of the organizations are doing a lot of research on circular economy and waste management and recycling. So you can apply. जैसे ये है ना MacArthur Foundation. So I worked with them. I did not take any funding, but they allowed me. That's a UK based firm, but we did research together and they allowed me to, I mean, they invited me to their one of their conferences where there was a, exchange of ideas and further development of the project. And it's number one in circular economy. So sometimes it is not in a tangible one, but intangible in terms of you can use their name to get your publications done and their endorsement. So it's like, this project and this research is like a lot of research collaboration. So you can have those kind of collaborations to enhance your footprint and impact and outreach. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And then
Okay, ma'am.
from
Thank you.
there, those outreach you can mention in your resumes. Huh? ठीक है?
Yes,
Good
yes.
question,
Okay, ma'am.
Vaishali madam. Thank you.
Mm,
Thank you, Vaishali madam. Namaskar. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shall I conclude, sir?
Yes, sir.
Madam,
Nadav, sir.
Madam, one more
Thank you, sir.
question is there from
हाँ,
Dr.
हाँ,
Surabhi Gupta, madam.
हाँ.
She want to ask, somebody can submit the proposal as a single entity faculty member, as a principal investigator, or do she submit the proposal through the institution?
Through institution is a compulsory one. Whether there are only single PI or multiple co-PI, it is up to you. If the PI has, personal investigator has enough skills, then they can apply independently. But I think if there are some NGOs present here, then they can apply on behalf of NGO as their organization name, and on behalf of the organization along with the PI, you can apply. Yeah, yeah. If there are company representatives attending this forum, then they can do it. They can do it. But it's just that their whole purpose is social impact. Huh? So if you can measure that and have a maximum outreach, it is highly, highly possible that you will get. But writing here, writing is a skill, presentation is a skill, and then project execution is another skill. Huh? The techniques I have already shared, but you can reach me out for my phone number and email ID is here for your convenience. So you can reach out to me here. Here. Thank you so much.
Thank you all participants for asking questions and thank you, madam,
Yeah.
for replying them. Let's
Yeah,
move towards
thank
the
you.
concluding part of today's
Yeah,
session.
yeah, sure.
Dr. Broto ma'am has provided us with valuable guidance on one of the most crucial aspects of academic and research excellence, that is research project preparation for grants. Her detailed explanation on how to conceptualize and frame an effective research title has given us a clear direction for initiating quality research work. The session was highly informative as she elaborated on the systematic process of preparing a strong researcher's resume, which is essential for academic recognition and funding opportunities. Our inputs on the research review process helped us understand how proposals are critically evaluated at different stages. We are especially grateful for her guidance on panel presentations, where she highlighted the importance of clarity, confidence, and structured communication while presenting research proposals before expert committee. Her explanation of the project evaluation committee report and its significance in research approval and monitoring was extremely valuable for all participants. The practical insights and real world examples shared by her have truly enhanced our understanding of the entire research ecosystem. This MDP session has undoubtedly empowered all participants with the knowledge and skills required to prepare high quality research proposals and successfully secure grants. Once again, we sincerely thank Thank you, Madam, Professor Broto
Thank you.
Madam,
Thank you so
for
much, sir.
sharing her expertise and inspiring us with her vast experience. I also extend my gratitude towards the Director of our Institute, Dr. S.B. Sawant, sir, FDP Coordinator, Dr. Subramani, Madam, Organizing Committee, Management, and all participants for making this day a grand success.
Sir,
I
one
request
request.
all participants to
Open
just
your
on your
cameras.
cameras to have a photograph, please. All participants, please switch on your cameras.
No. Okay. I.
Broto madam, please
हाँ.
stop your sharing.
हाँ,
Keep
वही मैं
sharing.
ढूंढ रही थी, sir. How do I do that? Stop sharing. Okay.
हाँ, stop
ठीक है,
sharing.
ठीक है, ठीक है. Good, good.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, other participants, please switch on your camera. Those who are there. Yes, Shabnam madam, have you taken?
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Madam, take a screenshot.
Yes, sir. Done. It's done. Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, thank you. It's done.
Thank you all. Thank you, madam.
Broto
Thank you
madam,
very
thank
much.
you.
हाँ, thank you, sir. Namaskar.
Thank
you
you.
so much,
Great
ma'am.
opportunity. Very nice team.
Yes, madam.
Thank you,
Yes,
thank
madam.
you.
Thank
God
you,
bless.
thank you,
Namaskar,
thank you,
namaskar
you.
for
Yes.
this
Good day.
opportunity. Thank you. Good day,
Good
sir.
day.
Namaskar.
With the permission of the organizer, I declare that today's FDP session is over. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Namaskar, namaskar.